Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Combo Breaker 99, and I am back with my breakdown prediction video for one of the major fights on UFC 261. We're a week out, man. We're a week out. I've been holding out on y'all, so let me go ahead and get this breakdown prediction done for one of two fights. Flyweight champion Valentina Shevchenko versus the number one contender Jessica Andrade. This is a long-awaited flyweight matchup. You know, everybody's been looking forward to this fight. You know, some people feel like this is going to be the most dangerous title defense for Valentina Shevchenko, and we also hear a lot of people saying this is Jessica Andrade's biggest fight to date, which both can be argued that. You know, they're both legitimate statements. You know, this could very well be Valentina Shevchenko, her most dangerous fight. And I think, you know, Jessica Andrade going in there with the number 2 pound-for-pound women's fighter in the world, I think it's safe to say that this is the biggest fight of her career. You know, this is Shevchenko, her 5th title defense. Jessica Andrade looking to get a crack at her 2nd world title in another division. So it's going to be an interesting fight, very interesting fight. We got one side over here thinking it's going to be a one-sided fight. Then the other side feels like it's going to be an explosive fight. So I'm dubbing this fight skills versus thrills. So yeah, man, let me go ahead and give you my keys to victory for the champ, then the number one contender. Then I'll give you my breakdown on how I think it'll go, and then I'll give you my prediction. So yeah, first up, Valentina Shevchenko, the number 2 pound-for-pound women's fighter in the world. She's one of the best fighters in the world, has some of the best technique, best skill set in the game today. I'd say in all the mixed martial arts. And I feel like, you know, going into this fight here, she could do whatever she wants, but I have specific keys to victory going in there with a very dangerous, relentless fighter like Jessica Andrade. So first up for Valentina Shevchenko, keep this fight in the center of the octagon. Use all the real estate. You know, I've been hearing word that this is one of the small cages, you know, compared to some of the other cages. I can't really remember how the cage looks down there in the arena in Jacksonville, Florida, but whatever the size, you got to keep this fight in the center of the octagon. As one of the best strikers in the world, you need that type of real estate to get away from a bull like Jessica Andrade. So you want to keep it in the center of the octagon just to keep Jessica Andrade resetting, and you can use as many angles as you want. And you want to stay away from the fence so Jessica Andrade can't press you and then bully you into the fence and eventually get you to the ground. So stay in the center of the octagon just so you can get off your strikes and have plenty of real estate to get off your best counter punches and just continue to make her reset. And you can also reset to get off your better strikes. Second up, set traps. You got to set traps against a fighter like Jessica Andrade. Lure Jessica Andrade in, make her think she sees some type of opportunity. You know, it's like dangling that piece of meat in front of a lion. You know, you got to dangle that piece of meat, and then as soon as you pull it back, boom, you trap them. That's how Valentina Shevchenko has to play it out in this fight. You got to set up those straight left hands. Make her think that she's going to find an opening to take you down, and then boom, you hit her with the big head kick. You know, you got to get her respect early on, and the best way to get respect from somebody like Jessica Andrade is by setting traps. Make her think twice about coming in, make her overthink, and then eventually you can take her apart. Next up, don't be stingy. Going into this fight, I feel like Valentina Shevchenko will have to step out of her comfort zone just a little bit. Joanna, her best success against Jessica Andrade was double jabs, triple jabs, and throwing those leg kicks, you know, throwing in volume, high work rate. And I feel like at times Valentina Shevchenko, if she can't get the respect with single shots, she's going to have to go in there and chip away at Jessica Andrade, especially this bigger, stronger version of Jessica Andrade at 125. You're going to have to chop away at her. You're going to have to throw more leg kicks, throw more combinations, and just try to cut her up and piece her up and really take her apart in this fight. So don't be stingy. You got to double and triple jabs and throw combinations. Also, look to finish. You know, sometimes I say for some fighters it's safe to just stay on the outside, box your way or strike your way to a decision. But against a fighter like Jessica Andrade, the longer you stay in there, the more dangerous she is. You know, she never loses steam. You could break her nose, but you didn't break her will. She'll continue coming, so you got to set up those big shots. Chip away at her early, get her respect early, set those traps early, and then look to finish her. You know, fighters like Mike Tyson, you got to get out of there. Fighters like Julian Jackson, Ernie Shavers, you got to get them out of there. The longer they stay in there, the more dangerous it is for you. And last but not least, avoid the inside. I think that pretty much explains itself. Avoid the inside against a pit bull like Jessica Andrade. That's Jessica Andrade's plan going into this fight. She knows she can't box with her. She knows she can't strike from the outside with her. So she has to get on the inside. Same as Juliana Pena did. Same as Jennifer Maia did. You know, they all had to get on the inside and make this a physical fight. So Jessica Andrade, her number one game plan is going to get on the inside, smother that reach, smother the offense, and make that big slam and make that big statement and make it count. So you got to avoid the inside at all costs. If you have more skills than Jessica Andrade and you can really work the outside, just avoid the inside at all costs. Don't try to go strength for strength. Use all your strengths against her. Okay, so moving on. Jessica Andrade's keys to victory. First up, educated violence. Now, I know that might sound a little bit weird to you guys, but educated violence, I said this before. For Jessica Andrade, she can't just go in this fight and try to bum rush Valentina Shevchenko the way she has in the past. She has to be a little bit more educated with her approach. Now, she's going to take the same approach. You really can't change the leopard spots overnight. So she has to go in there and think more so about how she's going to make her attack. The attack is going to be the same, but you got to be a little bit more methodical about it. You got to stalk more. Don't chase Valentina. You got to cut the octagon off. Don't just run at her and try to bum rush. You got to make those little subtle movements and those little angles how you cut off the octagon just by, cutting her off diagonal. Use more feints. Move your head more like you started in the past few fights. Start moving that head a bit more. Don't keep it on the line so Valentina doesn't have a clear-cut target. Put that pressure on her. Continue to close that distance on Valentina to make Valentina feel a little bit closed in. Start boxing her in against the cage and just continue to move your head and start working those jabs in. You got to be more so methodical against a fighter like Valentina Shevchenko. The minute you just straight bum rush her, you're going to leave yourself wide open. So you got to be more educated with the violence. Next up, chop down the foundation. Valentina Shevchenko is the better striker, but you got to match her a little bit. You got to go in there and check those leg kicks. You got to come up with your own leg kicks. You got to work the body. You got to work the fight. You got to work this fighter down. You got to break her down. You got to break her down, and you got to take away her arsenal by at least trying to come back and counter her arsenal with your own. You got to chop away at those legs. Similar to how Jessica Andrade did to Rose Namajunas. Now, I know Rose Namajunas is a different fighter than Valentina Shevchenko, but if you work those legs, look, if you at least try to throw some leg kicks against Valentina, something's going to land. So if she chops away, then goes to the body and turns Valentina into more of a stationary target, things will be a little bit easier for you. Next up, offset the feet. Valentina Shevchenko is a bit more flat-footed because she likes to throw those hard power shots. She can be a little bit more stationary because she's a little bit poised and she's ready for an opponent to dart straight in. So she's waiting for those counter punches. So you have to offset her feet. Continue to make her back up. Continue to make her reset. And then whenever you catch her on the balls of her feet, moving back, that's when you can go in and try for those single legs. You got to really keep her feet off rhythm because the minute she sets her feet and she plants those feet, she's good to go and she's going to land something big. She's going to land either a body kick, head kick, or throw that counter left hand. So you really got to offset her feet and keep her off balance in this fight. Next up, the right hand. Load that right hand up, but be educated with it. You got to plan to land that right hand. That is Jessica Andrade's money punch, whether it be to the body or to the head. When you go on the inside, if you ever get on the inside and get those underhooks, start stabbing away at the body. The same way she did against Katlyn Chookagian. That's what everybody forgets about the Katlyn Chookagian fight. It was a methodical breakdown there. It was a very methodical breakdown. Like, it wasn't just one body punch. She was continuing to really stick. Jessica Andrade was really sticking Katlyn Chookagian to the body with those right hands. When she got her down on the ground, she was hitting her. In the clinch, she was hitting her till finally in the end of the round, she was able to really dart in with that right hand and just end Katlyn Chookagian. So that's what Jessica Andrade is going to have to do in this fight. She's going to have to work those right hands to the body, continuously anytime she can close that distance. So yeah, man, those are my keys to victory for Andrade. Educated violence, chop the foundation, offset the feet, and also, don't let me forget this, catch and counter. Anytime you get into that mid-range of Valentina Shevchenko, you got to catch that leg and try to throw a counter left or a counter right hand. That's going to be her best chance. Try to catch those counters. Try to catch those counter kicks and keep her stationary or freeze her up so finally you can land on a stationary target. That's going to be Jessica Andrade's best move. She's going to have to be able to take a kick or two and get that timing down and get that impact down. And if she can catch one of those body kicks, then she can take the fight to the ground, or she can land one of those big right hands, like I said, a left hook. So yeah, that's my last key to victory. So it's educated violence, chop the foundation, offset the feet, right hand, and catch the counter. So how do I see this fight going? I think first off, early on, Shevchenko, she will take the early rounds in this fight with those single hard counters. She's really going to make Jessica Andrade fight behind her. And I think at times Jessica Andrade is going to be overly respectful of Valentina Shevchenko. But eventually, Andrade will punch her way in. I see her throwing a few strikes I see her taking a few big strikes to land a few of her own, but she won't land anything clean on Valentina. And eventually, when she gets into the clinch, I think they'll exchange some big knees. And I think that the champ, she will land some of her own, and she'll also land some big elbows and forearms of her own, to get on that break. And then she'll keep range, And then eventually when we get to like the third and fourth round, I see Andrade busted up at this time from eating a lot of accurate shots from Valentina Shevchenko, and I see Valentina going to the body simply with those hard body kicks to the side, those hard side body kicks. And then eventually I see her landing a big straight counter to drop Jessica Andrade in probably like the fourth round. So with that, I think Valentina Shevchenko is going to win this fight probably by fourth round TKO. So if she drops her, I think it's going to be her jumping her on her in the fourth round, and she's probably going to land some ground and pound. And eventually I think the referee, he'll have to stop it either off the cut or just because she can't answer back. So I really do think that Valentina Shevchenko has the accuracy and the precision to chop her down. She doesn't have the one-punch power in this fight against a bigger, stronger fighter like Jessica Andrade. Now, we never know. We never know if Jessica Andrade walks into something crazy. She could get knocked out with one punch. But I see her just simply being chopped down and eventually just getting overwhelmed and the referee having to stop the fight in probably like the fourth round. So, yeah, I have Valentina Shevchenko winning the fight by fourth round TKO. So, yeah, man, let me know, guys, in the comment section what y'all think. Do you feel like this is going to be a one-sided fight? Or do you think it'll be a back-and-forth action fight where Jessica Andrade will have her scary moments in this fight? I think it's going to be good. Combo Breaker 99, let me know what y'all think. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.